Did we lose the stream? Ah, there we go. Lose the stream? There we go. Okay. So let's just kind of review where we are, where we came from, and where we might go. How about that? So we did see, and I don't know if you guys subscribe to my pre-market playbook or not, but was talking about the bull case being this right here. The bull case was to defend the 25,412, right? Secondary to that would have been the 25,500, which is what they did a little springboard off of that today. So you kind of wanted to see the bulls hold the 25,500, the risk being underneath the 412 could resume more of the downtrend. So this is what it looked like as I was doing the pre-market playbook here. This is why. Okay, we're going to talk about a couple things today, but this is why this 20-day simple moving average from an hourly chart, so just the midline on the Bollinger Bands, I call this the hourly mid. I have that on my chart, and it's represented by, on the 2-minute chart, it's represented by the 600-day simple moving average. So if you want to mimic a 20-day simple moving average from a 60-minute time frame, it's a 600-day simple right there. And that's basically where they launched it from this morning, right here. 25,500, buy, did not come back. And it was really super choppy here, by the way. We got a couple really nice trades off, but I started my day with a minus 15. And it was right around, obviously, this 26 here. And ATR was like 42. So for anybody that doesn't know what that is, the ATR right here, it's 8.5 now, represents, basically the range of each one of these bars. It's an average of the previous 5 bars. So when the thing is like in the 40s, the NQ is not a great thing to trade. You could see it really well, and like a wick like this could come down, grab your stop, and then go. And then you start, putting the tinfoil hat on and saying, oh, they came after my stop. They knew I was sitting there. They did not. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. They might care about you, but they don't care about you in that regard. How about that? So very simply put, let's go back to this hourly chart here real quick, because I think that you should have an hourly chart somewhere in your eye shot. You should be able to glance at this thing. I have it on another monitor. And this is, so you guys know that on the NQ, I have basically kind of reverse engineered 100 points of price, right? That's my 100 handle block. This is the 1,000 handle block. So this is how we go from the 25,000 to the 26,000 through this process right here, through these levels. These are the levels that are on my pre-market playbook. So you're basically saying that if the bulls hold the 412, we're going here, right? Here, let me get something else to write with there. Right? So if they hold this, we're going here. Barring any rejection here, we're going there. Likewise, any rejection, we're going here. And here's where we're at right now, by the way. So we started here and we are here. So we're up 300 points off of the open, essentially. And you really had to love it to get involved. Same thing on the ES, by the way. ES, we want to see him defend the 6750. Never got a chance to do that. Basically, we're looking at the roundy. And if you get my pre-market playbook, I was really just talking all about the roundy here. The dip that has been getting bought. This is a dip that has been getting bought, right? We believe me, we've heard about it over and over again, right? So they need to get and stay above the 6,800, keep the midband as support. Well, guess what? They did that. This is the ES on the hourly chart. That's exactly what they did this morning. You had a back test of the hourly mid, This was pre-market right here. Monthly pivot really stood up here, just as it did yesterday or Tuesday night. But gives you an indication as to why we look at this on our chart. Now, this morning, I was looking for in the futures room, we caught a couple really nice ES trades. I was looking for this. This on my stuff is a week high. So I'm going to call stuff out like this on a, and basically say, look, if we can get above and stay above the 68.12, we're going to go get that right there. That's 68.50. And I think Corey's expected move is sitting right up here. That's where we've stalled. And we've come a long way. Like if we wanted to say, okay, I'm game, I will buy this, but I can't pay up for it. What's halfway back? Halfway back is a pullback to 68.26 or the overnight high. We'll see. We'll see. They got them running today. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about. So we talked about the hourly mid-band and why it's on our chart. And we want to be heads up when we are engaged with that. This is where we want to be heads up. The spidey senses, all bells and whistles, whatever should be ringing right here. Like, okay, a move is about to happen. What is the context of the move? Well, that looks like a pullback right down to it, right? And that's how we got to where we are right now. And we broke out of the opening range. This was not clean at all. I missed this move. This move really would have just required you to buy, just literally market order, click the button and buy the roundy, get filled at like the 03 and just hang on. That's what that would have required. It didn't even do a pullback, to back test this. Typically on an opening range, especially one that's this tight, this is only 2 minutes. This is our opening range right here. Typically what we will see and what I look for, and then this is like I was talking to Blake, it's when you got to just throw your hands up and like, all right, they're just going to go without me. Typically we see stuff like this. We see stuff like this, right? We saw that yesterday. We saw that on Monday as well. And then we go, or we do a lower low, like this is what we've had all week, and then we go, right? We didn't get that. Everybody was a little too hopped up this morning to get it. Now, the one thing that was lagging and the one thing I want to talk about here is the advanced decline, okay? So you could have got yourself in trouble here depending on your risk and how you manage risk when you're trading the S&P, because you had this. You had basically price in a breakout and a declining advanced decline, a declining AD going negative on you, right? Going negative in spite of price rising. Now, typically the AD is correct. But if you were reading price the way that I was, you didn't want any part of being short here. I didn't want to be short here. I was trying to buy this thing. And this was the last opportunity to get long right here, to capture the move to 50. If you were going to do it, right here. Secondary to that would have been a 33 right here. And here we are. All right, so let's see what we have. We might have some action here on, hey, what's up, Ryan? We might have some action on NQ here, but let's see. Right now, the expected move is resistance. We haven't tagged it on NQ yet. It's right up here, like 839, I think. But I really only know about this one. It's at 53 right here. As a matter of fact, let's do this. We'll do this for Corey. Whoops, come on now. And we'll keep an eye on that. I think that just based on the structure of this market, pullbacks are getting bought. Flags are getting bought. It's a matter of identifying where your risk is. It's just a matter of identifying where your risk is. Yeah, I've been getting on a little bit before 11 here lately, Ryan. That seems to be my new time slot there. Since we have an ATR that's really low, we're going to put this chart on here and we'll see if we can't find some trades. Let's see what's setting up. So when if I were going to short the 26, I look left and go, yeah, no, I'm not going to short that. So here's what we're going to have to do. And this is kind of crazy, but if we get a bar close above this, we're going to buy it. And we're going to see if we can't head up here to expect to move high and the 41 up there. Let's see where this bar closes. Let's buy it. Let's see. We have a bar close above 26, so we should get a 33 here. And then I'm just looking for the top of the channel up here, so 41. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get this done here. When we get a 2-minute close, look at the difference between these bars, right? Wick, no close above. Wick, no close above. This is the first bar that closes above. So as long as this 22 can hold up, we got a good shot at going to get that 33 up there. It's just a trend up day, Tim. I mean, it doesn't mean that this is going to work. This is the high of the day. I'm buying 7 handles off the high of the day. I would have much rather been long from below here. But we'll see. We'll see if I can provide a little example of what a bar close above means. Yeah, usually on a 26 long, always looking for 33. Always looking for 33. But obviously, look, I'll still do the same thing. It's still going to go even stop when it goes up to 30. The +5 is higher probability for sure, right? +5 is higher probability. I'm just looking for it to finish the move up here to the expected move high at 39. And then I'm just going to take it off at 41 if it can get there. So we'll see. We have an even stop. Come on, do it. Now, what this is going to do, this kind of price action, is going to bring all the bulls right back out. And they're going to start pounding the drum that that this is the end of year rally starting right here, right now. I'm sure someone's going to comment to that in the room. I'm neither a bull nor a bear. I'm a bull today. I was a bear yesterday. So I don't try to get, the pom-poms out for either side. Just want to trade price and just want the thing to move. But that is what is going to happen. And it's true, there's going to be a lot of performance chasing going on in this market. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot of people that wish they were longer, I should say. All right, we got the 33. Let's see if they can push up here to 40, 41. Also, potential headline risk with Supreme Court stuff too. All right, so they need to close this over 33 though for us if we're going to get the next piece of this thing. And the next push into 36 needs to produce a 38. The big pause on ES there at 53. So as it pushes back to this gold level here, the 36, I would like to see it test the 38, right? So this 36 right here, I wanted to come over the top of this. We're sitting right up here to take risk out. ATR is really low, Ryan. It's super low. What this market is telling us right now is that the easy money has been made. You're either long or you're late. And we're just trading the crumbs here. But we've got really nothing here. So if you got shook out of a position, um, too bad, so sad. And it's tough to buy the top of a 300 handle move. Right? It's tough to buy the top of a 300 handle move. At least it is for me because I subscribe to math more than anything else. Certainly not my feelings. Um, and so when I go look at a move like this, it has left me at the station. So that's how I go over here and try to measure the move. Where would I like to get long? Right? Could they continue? Of course they could. There's nothing saying that they can't. So I'm not going to fight it, right? I'm not going to fight it. But for me to put, decent money to work, you want it to actually pull back a little bit. All right, we're out of that trade for a plus 15. So a 22 handle trade, buying the highs and selling higher. Now, we're going to do a fade here. We are going to fade the 46. I don't think it's going to do much, but if they're going to push back, we just pushed over the expected move high. So maybe we can get a pullback to the 33 here. Maybe not. Maybe we're going to give back what we just had. That's possible too. And that's okay. This is pretty normal for the NQ, by the way. So let's see where they close it. Might have to scratch this trade. But if they close under the 50, we're coming back to the 46. 56 is probably a better fade. It's, typically on a first test of one of my levels from below, we'll see it fade a little bit, especially after a move like this. This is pretty much straight up from 40 handles ago, but they're going to come get me, I think. They're coming to get me. Oh, well, no big deal. All right, so this has engaged my escape hatch. So my bracket has been modified because this went against me too much. So now it's providing a buy order here to try to get out for a -3. We might give our whole position that we just took, we might give it all back right here. I'm just trading micros. I was hoping that was going to be a nice little example of a first test from below. But this thing's hopped up. So I'm not married to the short. Like I said, I'm just trading. They want my little two lot here. That's quite all right. I don't care. I really don't. It's just trading. So the logic on this was just an overshoot of expected move high. That didn't work out. It's okay. So if we can close below 56, it'll give us that escape hatch. But right now, we are wrong, right? We've taken way too much heat on this trade. And it's all about, look, if we're going to trade these markets, especially futures markets, you got to accept the risk. You have to accept the risk on the outset. And, again, in my sessions with you guys, I feel compelled to provide examples, albeit this one's not a good one, but provide examples of practical application of the stuff that I teach. I'm not from Missouri, but I do like to I'd rather show you than sit here with slides and stuff. I have it. It's pre-programmed on my Sierra Dome, so it modifies the bracket automatically. That is something that Ned has put together for us. So when these things go against us too much, it modifies the bracket. It takes our stop loss and puts basically a counter order to get out as an escape, because that's what I teach, right? So I teach the escape hatch like this. When you have to do it manually on some platforms. So when I'm short here and it goes here, I'm wrong. So I'm depending on this thing to push back here to let me out. And that's the escape hatch. Worst case scenario, I'm out right here. And just look for the next trade. So we'll see if this thing can push back. It doesn't act like it wants to yet. We could get super, super squeezy into the close, by the way. This could get very squeezy into the close. We just need a lower low. Just need a 51 and we'll get it. I'm going to bump this up to 50. Whoops. So we'll see if they let us out. And I don't really have another trade, unfortunately. So again, just really based on math, based on retracements. Typically, looks like they're coming to get me. Typically, we see moves like this. We see some retracement. We don't have to act on it. I did, but it's backfiring a little bit. I don't know why it's not letting me do that. Why is it doing that? I wonder. It's not, so I'm selecting the fib tool, but it's not allowing me to use it. There we go. Too zoomed in, I guess. All right, we're still in it. And so look, I'm looking for this right here, right? I want to see a pullback to get long. That's where I'd like to see a pullback. Come on, push, 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 push. I mean, ideally, we would come back and retest, right? Ideally, we're going to come back and retest top of the expected move. That would be the ideal thing. Let us out, man. Might not. Might not. And the other thing that I usually see from a 56 is a retest of the 50 from this standpoint, right? So we go up to 56. We always, well, not always, obviously, but typically we'll come back and retest this as a big inflection point before heading higher. But I don't think I think they're going to take me out on this one now. You can adjust it to whatever you like, Ron. If you're on, but it's on, you got to be on Sierra. So you can adjust it for 9 or 10. You could say make it a -4 or a -5. You can adjust it to whatever you like. But Sierra is the only one that has it. Sierra chart. Oh, just put me out of my misery, why don't you? See, if we were short 56, we would have gotten at least to the point of an even stop. We would have missed this here. What's probably going to happen is it's going to take me out and then it's going to come back to 50. And that's all right. Like I said, is what it is. I knew it going in, so I'm out. I basically had a nice trade here and I just gave it back. So I'm flat. I'm -3 on the session for those keeping score. And see, look, it just wanted to go up, tag the 62, and then come back. I almost put the stop at 63. I almost did that. So I don't really have another setup at the moment. Nothing like top ticking the market, right? So for us to get long, I think we need to see a 42. I think this needs to pull back at least 10 points. It's a run up of 30. So, if we're kind of eyeballing this, we want to see it. But, like I said, people are piling into this right now. These stocks that have been kind of getting hurt lately are getting some buyers. Meta mainly. Google's having a good day. Gold is back approaching the 4,000 mark again. Tesla's having a day. Nvidia's having a day. So when does Nvidia report? Not till the 19th. So look, typically I'm shorting levels from below. We don't have two-way action here. This is more trendy. So patience will have to prevail on trying to get long somewhere. This basically says that the ES could go get a 62 here. Right on, Ryan. I mean, that's the crux of it. So, save your hate email, not you, Ryan, but other people. If you want to like send me an email and hate on me, you could just save it because you're not going to hurt my feelings at all, by the way. So again, kind of what we want to see here is just a pullback. We would entertain a pullback long at 46, but 42 is our risk, is where we basically have to manage risk. Well, that's good, Tom. What do you need, Harold? Post my gear. What do you need, Harold? Let me know. Man, this is just a little too far, too fast. We're getting out over the tips of our skis a little bit here. That's why we can't have nice things, you guys. It's either straight down or straight up. Oh, well, I'll just tell you right here. I'll just give you that gear. So this is what I would suggest. It's what most of us here trade on, and it's Falcon Trading Computers. I believe I have the 37. Yeah, this is the one I have here. And of course, you can bolt all kinds of things onto this. You can add a bunch of memory. Um, right? You can do up to 64 gigs of memory to this thing. Just tell them how many monitors you want, and they provide you a nice video card with all those inputs. Really clean, super clean. and tell them you're a member of TheoTrade, and maybe they used to give our members discounts. But I think best bang for the buck right here if you're going to trade this stuff. And you can obviously look, I mean the bad boy is this 52 GT. This one's pretty tough. This one's awesome. Really good customer service. They definitely take care of you. I had to change out some memory on my laptop because my laptop is a little old, and I ordered the memory from Amazon, and I can't remember the guy's name, but they jumped on the computer with me and helped me with that, so it was pretty cool. Yeah, that's what I have, Tom. The 37 GT. Now, since we're talking computers, let me see if I can find an image of this. But I have 4 monitors, and usually they're sitting on stands, like you have a tree kind of thing, right? You got a stand and then each monitor on each side. So my lower monitors, I'm laying them down, and I really like it a lot. They're at like a 45-degree angle on the desk. Let's see if I can find an example of that. Really cool. Keeps me from, I'm still looking up quite a bit, but before I was like looking way up. So basically like this. Basically like this. So the lower two are, well, where did that image go? Dang it. Kind of sitting like that right there. Pretty cool. Suggest it. I highly suggest it. All right, new high up into the 66 now. All right, I'll see what I can do about that, Sarah. So again, the whole thing is trying something that has look, if we would have said let's let the 50 print first, we would have avoided all that. And now it's starting to run away from us. So I just, there's a really high probability that this fades back, but I don't know. It's starting to get a little frothy here. Let me see any news. Oh, maybe it's reacting from something he said. Who knows? We're just gonna kind of hang out, you guys. Kind of a swing and a miss today. We had a nice trade followed by a crappy one. Wink, wink. He's talking GDP now. That's what that was. Um, I think anything over 4 monitors is probably a little overkill. 4 is on the cusp of overkill. I use 4 because obviously I present every day. But I think if I wasn't doing that, I don't know that I would need 4 monitors. So another leg up here. $77 setting up. And so the other thing for me on the NQ, when I see moves like this was very constructive here. Okay. So let's just talk through this for a second. It's just it's not respecting certain things that I look for. Doesn't mean it has to do this all the time, but certain things I look for, it's not respecting it right now. So it's being driven by something. So even on a very bullish day like we have today, typically when we come up to a 26 from below, we back test to 12, right? So from below, 26, 12, 26, 12, 26, 12, and then too many tests, it goes through. Likewise, on a 77, when we come up to a 77, very high probability that we will back test a 62. It overshoots it to 88. There's the 62. Same thing here. Reaches up, back test the 62, right? Look, same thing here. 26, back to 12. 26, back to 12. Guess what we don't have? We do not have a 56 back to 50, right? And we don't really have a 50 back to a 33 either. So it's just getting a little, ahead of itself, in my opinion. So what we can do is watch it and see if the 77 does in fact backtest 62 here. We're not going to put money to work on it if we know that he's talking right now. So we'll just sit tight. But when we do not do that, when we just run over things and we don't come back and back test stuff, you're chasing. And the more it does this, the more dramatic this is going to be. And like I said, I'm absolutely 100% on this. The easy money has been made. When we have to buy up here, and I'm not saying, look, before you guys persecute me, I'm not saying that this is expensive. I'm saying we've run up 300 points without any meaningful pullback, right? So when I look at this chart, that's a huge run up without a pullback. Okay. Could we go higher? Of course we could. And I'm not bearish. I'm just saying that when it does this, we typically get this crap to follow it because there's no back and fill through this process. And that's what we need. We need that back and fill. That's why up here, right? When everybody was super bowled up, we're going to 7,000, we're going to 7,000, we're going to 7,000. And then we pull all the way back to 67.50, right? 200 handle pullback on the S&P, even deeper on the NQ. So just like to see those checks and balances when you have news-driven markets, and super FOMO'd out markets, you lack that. And so when it does materialize, it's more dramatic than it should be, is what I'm saying. So it's all about criteria. So Jay is asking me, what do I need to display on 4 monitors? Okay. If you must know, this is my presentation screen. I have on another screen a longer time frame of what I trade. I have on this screen the chat room that you're listening to. I have on another screen another product that I trade, which is the ES on a longer time frame. If you must know, that's what I have. I don't need 6, but I tend to use all 4 of them. So anyway, Corey's coming up, you guys. And again, we're kind of just hanging out here at expected move high on the S&P. And we're looking for a little bit of a pullback here. Now, if we truly convert, a true conversion of this 833 will seek a 912 up here. Okay. And then of course, barring any rejection from a 912, this 912 is a gateway to the 26,000. Okay. Corey, are you ready? I'm just going to hand it off to you because there's nothing here.
Indeed. I had to find my unmute button. I'm ready, Tony.
All right. If you guys need me for anything, feel free to shoot me an email, support@TheoTrade, put it to my attention. Everyone have a fantastic rest of their day. Maybe another leg here at the end of the day into the last hour. I think the last hour could get very squeezy, meaning to the upside. So that's the kind of market that we have right now. And so trade it accordingly. Everybody have a good one. Peace out. I don't think I need to make you the host. Maybe I do. Yes, I do. You are the host. I'm going to stop share. It is all yours.